What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. So, as I previously mentioned, today we are going to make our node item row view reusable, basically. In this episode, I wanted to cover kind of a best practice how to make the sub view or cell view for the table view reusable. For this episode, I'm planning to create a new new view file for one-to-one relationship that we previously covered, and no new list view and new child view for the row item or item view, you can say. And without further ado, let's get started. Creating our files, which will be necessary for us to use for this episode. So new file from template and SwiftUI file. We are going to name it as node list view, basically. We already have this name. Okay, so let's name it something else. Node list view reusable view. Okay, so or let's name it node list reusable view. So I'm indicating the name that's going to be reusable view because we are going to create an cell view which is going to be a reusable. Okay, and then without forgetting it, let's make it an first screen on for our application. So list reusable view, it will be a first view, which as you can see it's an empty view, which is SwiftUI view with an hello world text. And secondly, we are going to create our item view that will keep our items, on the table or on the list actually. As you know, in the UI kit it was table view, and now in the SwiftUI it's called list. And let's add this new file from template, basically, and name it list item view. Okay, and as I mentioned, today we are going to consider or cover, let's say, how to make the list item view reusable for the best practices. And without further ado, let's create our view, basically. So we are going to have variables. Let's mark them properties, and let's add properties that we are going to use for this view. String, let subtitle is going to be string, and category string, it's gonna be an optional, and var is done string, a boolean, var is edit mode boolean, and we are going to have a binding actually to change it to when the item is selected for multiple selection, as we previously mentioned. We will have closures var on delete, var on done. Okay, so this will be our requirement for implementing this reusable view. I will remove the preview because I will run the application and show you how it's gonna look like. But before I continue, I just want to share how the application was. So there will be no changes actually on the UI side, just the implementation will be a little bit different. So let's see our simulator and make an example to see how it's gonna look like as a recap one more time. So when we run the application, as you remember, as I told you, one-to-many relationship, as we previously covered in the previous episode. I think it was fourth episode or third, I'm not sure about it. Just go and check it from replays, please. When we add an item, actually it's a person, it's an idea. For example, we could select anything, personal, important, travel, idea, any category that we want to make it happen. Or yeah, and if it's personal, like we could say wash your car and wax it, for example. And when we were saving it, it was automatically saved to the under to do section. And when we are going to edit, when we under the edit mode, we could select, have multiple selection, and we could mark them as done or delete them with a multiple selection. Okay, or if we are not in the under the edit mode, we could on the right hand side mark them as done actually. Okay, so we won't have a different implementation according to the related with the UI. Only multiple deletion will not be implemented, but you can easily copy the code from the node list view. Okay, so let's make it one more time as our first screen, and then let's jump into the our child view, list item view, and see what we are going to cover. Okay, so we will need an height stack, horizontal stack for this view, because as you remember, we have the title, and underneath we have the what is it called, and the date, and then also category. Okay, on the right hand side we have a radio button to make it done or undone depending on our preference. Okay, if is edit mode and item is not done, okay, we are going to have an image. It's going to be system image, actually check mark dot circle dot fill. Okay, but it's going to be, if it is selected, basically it's going to be a fill, and if it's not selected, we are going to say okay, it's gonna be only circle actually. So let's continue implementing our view. This is an image view for selected or non-selected property or view, let's say. So let's add some foreground style is selected. It's going to be blue, and if it's not selected, it's gonna be gray. Okay, so and we're gonna apply on top gesture here actually, and we are going to toggle is selected boolean variable. Okay, let's add this to our not list reusable view. Yep, we're gonna give stack, let's say, just testing purposes. I'm adding this to not list reusable view to see how it is appearing by running the application, basically. So not row reusable, no, list reusable, yeah, here it is. And we're gonna should accept some parameters actually. Okay, sorry, we are adding it to itself. So child views, under the child views it is node list item view, sorry, yeah, it's list item view, and it's going to accept the title, subtitle, test, subtitle, category will be string. We can pass it as a nil for now. True or false is important. Actually, we shouldn't have is important. Is important. No, we don't have such a property. Okay, so we can remove this. Is edit mode. It's gonna be true for now. Is selected false. On delete, on done. We are going to implement it later on again. So it's going to be constant because it's binding. It's going to be false, and let's see how it's going to appear. But we need to check the our root view is a not list reusable view. Let's see our simulator how it's going to show this view for one item only. Basically, obviously we are going to put it in the list. It's taking time to build and show. Yeah, we have a circle here. Okay, so nothing very fancy actually. I just wanted to make sure it is the circle is fine. Underneath we're gonna have a VStack actually, which is going to accept the text, and it's gonna be title. So it's gonna be basically one more VStack. Sorry. VStack, yes, we do it on VStack. Alignment will be leading, and also spacing will be 4. So we will have a title and subtitle underneath each other. Okay, so say text, title, font, headline, and it's going to be strike through is done color.gray. So why we are adding this actually, if the task is been done, it will be it's gonna be have a line on the title. Okay, let's add the subtitle here, and it's gonna be font, subheadline, and foreground style secondary. Okay, so these are just the random colors I'm using for this view. Also, we are going to add within this VStack a category, and category is going to be text category, font subheadline, padding 6 from all the corners, top, left, and right and bottom, and background color will be blue, opacity corner reduce. And let's give it a try. This view how it's going to appear actually is selected then the category. Let's give it as a important so that we can see how it is appearing actually. Okay, yeah, so title, subtitle, and the category, and they are aligned in the VStack. Okay, and then the is done is in the left hand side. Okay, if we are in the edit mode actually we'll be able to see this. Okay, so now we'll have a little bit more implementation in this view. Okay, so we have a haystack. If we are in the edit mode, we will be able to see the circle on the left hand side as shown on the simulator here, and the rest is just a VStack, and they are aligned on top of each other. So we'll add in within the height stack, we will apply spacer, and if it is not in the edit mode, we are going to add basically one more circle on the right hand side, so that we can click on it and mark it as done, as shown previously. Okay, so we'll add button. We'll have a button here, action, which will trigger on done. Okay, and we are going to have image here, system name. If it is done, it's going to be check mark, circle, fill, and otherwise it's gonna be empty circle. And let add a foreground style. If it is done, it's gonna be green or blue if it's not done. Okay, so, and also here we are going to add the swipe actions. As you remember, when we swipe, we could be able to delete the task. Okay, swipe actions. So we'll have a button, and by the way, swipe actions will be aligned on the trailing edge. Don't forget to add this too. And this one I'm going to have a roll distractive, so that it will be a red color, which indicates it is a delete button. And we are going to trigger on delete completion handler. And with the label, we are going to have a label delete, and the system image as label accepts the system image as well. We can include the trash. Okay, so if it's not under the edit mode, let's try it one more time to see how the view is appearing actually. Let's toggle this to false. So it is added to very left and very right. I mean, they are expanded to the edges actually, safe areas. So now it's not done. That's why it is blue. When it is done, it will be filled circle with the green. Here actually, what is important to know, add some padding, so that we will have the gap between edges. So it's important to add the padding to the height stack for whole we added padding actually for vertical, so that we can have the spaces between the items, but we are going to add padding to the list in the parent view. Okay, so I'm basically at this moment I want to indicate that maybe I'm making some mistakes, because I'm not gonna edit the video, I'm not gonna change the video, because it's good to make mistakes so that we can all see the mistakes that has been made by me, so that you can see the reason, how we changed it, and etc. Okay, so without further ado, actually let's jump into our parent view, not list reusable view, because our child view is ready, list item view, which is going to be used in the list modifier or list view. So what are we going to add here? As you remember, previously we had two arrays. One of them was parsed one of them was parsing the completed tasks, where other one was bringing us to non-completed tasks. Okay, so we will have to query parameters, properties, but before that we need to inject the environment model context, because as you know, model context is responsible to reach the container and make the CRUD operations available for us. So, and two query parameters with the fetch descriptor. One is for the to-do nodes, the other one is done nodes. Obviously we need to import SwiftData. Okay, so now we can remove this VStack here. Actually we don't need it anymore. We will add one more state parameter to keep the selected nodes basically as a set, so that they will be unique, and an empty array or an empty set. State private var to present the model in order to add a new task. It's gonna be false initially. State variable for new item. When we create a new item from the model, we will return the title. State private var selected category for the category selected, but by default it's going to be work. State private var show alert. I implemented error handling as well here, and if something is saved also, we are going to show the user that the result actually it is saved. So that's why we have this show alert. State private var alert type which will be an enum actually, and let's define this alert type as well. Okay, and obviously we will define state private var is edit mode bool, initially will be false. So let's return something within the body so that the compiler doesn't yell us. Okay, so get access, because we are not sharing the model context. No, we are sharing. Okay, what is the problem here now? Let's see. Container is added. Okay, so I run the application again and it didn't give me any error. Okay, so I will stop now the running. I will add navigation stack here. The reason why I'm adding this navigation stack, because I will use navigation title modifier, or actually it's not a modifier, it's a preference key. I have an article on Medium about the preference key. You can also visit. I will be including the URL of the article of the description of this video, so that you will be able to read this article to understand preference keys. So let's have an VStack and the list and the section. Section will be with the header text to do items, and another section will be for, it's gonna be again header text done. Okay, it's gonna be done items. Okay, so basically I want to give an information about this section header, we can have a custom header actually. Let's say we have an section header for done, for example, and then we can return some view, and here we can return a text, and it can be again to do. Okay, and we can use this one instead if we want to. And also for done items, section header for done, for to do, and some view. Okay, and here we will again return the text done. So these are the views that we can return. When we go and section and check, actually it is accepting an view actually. Okay, so it's important that's why we used text here. Can use, and let's run the application to see if it is okay. Yeah, we do have two sections, but both of them to do. Anyway, for done, for to do. To do and done. Okay, we have correct section headers now. So that means we can add a custom header if you want to our sections. That is another important functionality that we can apply through the SwiftView UI. I just wanted to bring attention to this one. So our sections are ready, properties are ready that we are going to use, and let's add the navigation title and the modal presenting property basically. So it's gonna have navigation title tasks list, and we're gonna have the toolbar to toggle between edit mode and adding item, showing the add item modal. Okay, so we will have a toolbar item. One is for add item, where the other one is for toggling the edit mode. Okay, so I'm just actually passing these properties or passing these implementation a bit quicker because we want to make the video shorter, and also these are done before in the previous pages, so it's the same, so there's nothing fancy changed. So within our list view, I want to add two property to the list view. Okay, we're gonna hide the scroll. Sorry, we're gonna make the content background for the scroll hidden, and also background color will be clear. Okay, so and then for here we can go for each, and we can iterate to do nodes basically, and we can pass list item view, and we can pass all these parameters that we are currently having. Okay, but before doing that, let's add this identifier property. It's important. I mentioned about why it is important, this ID, why the for each is accepting this parameter, because when it's going to render the changes actually on the items in the listed in the list view, it's important to know which one is going to be rendered. Okay, node in, and then we are going to pass node content node dot formatted date. Okay, this should be a transit actually property. We do not have it. Let me see. Actually, let me check the node model. We don't have it. So what I'm gonna add one more transit property here. as you know, I mentioned transient properties actually they are not saved in the database during the saving operation. They are here for us to parse the temporary values. So we'll have one more string and return date added format date, and this is an extension coming from the previous episodes. So we do have formatted date now we can use. So we're gonna have is node dot category row value type. If it is done, node is done. Is edit mode is coming from our state variable, which will toggle between edit non-edit mode. So, and also is selected is going to be a binding, because we have a binding property. Okay, it's going to be binding, and on delete and on done we are going to implement them relatively. Why this is a binding? Because when we toggle is selected from the child view, we want to capture it from the parent view, so that we can update the selected nodes set or set array here that we defined previously. Okay, so it's important to know this. So if it is binded, and if it is for the get, we will say if the selected nodes contains the node, it means actually it is selected. Okay, and if it is set, if it is toggled from the child view, actually from the list item view here, we are going to apply some logic. If it is toggled, we are going to capture it from here. New value, let's say we're gonna give a new value, we will name it this closure variable as a new value, and if new value, if it is true, we are going to add it to the selected nodes, and insert node, and else if it is false, we are going to remove it from the selected nodes array. Okay, remove node. So we implemented actually if it is under the edit mode, we implemented the logic of selecting or non-selecting the item. Let's run and see what do we have so far. Okay, I don't know if we have a node saved here in this simulator. Yes, we do have. So under the edit, so yeah, you see it's toggling. So the selected and non-selected mode or state is now getting updated. And here maybe I didn't mention, but if it is selected, we are having a blue field checkmark circle, foreground style. If it's not selected, we are going to have an empty circle with a gray stroke. Okay, this is important to I think emphasize. And on the other hand, actually I want to implement the logic of the deleting and saving. Private func on save, we are going to accept the node as a parameter, obviously node. Okay, basically any change, sorry, it's not going to unsave, sorry, it's going to be handle deletion. Okay, we are going to accept the node as a parameter. Obviously we're not going to return anything from the function, so we're going to reach the context to delete node. And here also we will try context save changes or catch any error that is occurring. Speaking of error, let's also implement our error handlation. Okay, so let's implement our alert under the toolbar where it ends. Under the toolbar curly bracket, we are going to add an alert here. Okay, and if the show alert state is true, we are going to toggle it and make it false, and we will show the alert, and depending on the type, the message will be displayed. So we are going to have an private func show alert. We will accept the type, it's going to be alert type, and make alert type is equal to type, and show alert is to true. Let's build and run. Obviously it won't show anything right now. We do have a problem with the alert implementation. Okay, so here it's build succeeded. Okay, build succeeded basically, and now let's handle the deletion and the show of the alert. Show alert, let's use this. If it's a success, we will show the success message, and if it's an error, actually we'll show error. Okay, let's build and run again. And under none mode, actually we can swipe and delete it, and when it is deleted, actually it's successfully deleted, so the alert has been shown. Okay, and add item model is not implemented yet. We are going to implement that functionality too right now. So we are going to add one more modifier here, actually sheet modifier, to show our model is presented. Is presenting model. If it's true, we are going to show our add item model view, and we are going to pass the new item. Okay, new item, where we are going to capture the changes, and selected category will be selected category, and on save will trigger the on save. On cancel, what we are going to do is presenting model toggle to make it false. And where are we showing this model? Actually from the toolbar add item. Okay, so here let's implement the on save as well, which previously actually I intended to implement, but I got confused with the order of the functionalities. Okay, so on save, when it is called, we will check if new item is empty, return. Actually we can do an guard, that would be much better. Also it's else return, but here actually things works a little bit vice versa. If it is not empty, continue, else return, don't do anything. Okay, and let's define node, new node with content basically, which is going to be an new item as a title, and if it is, it's not done by default. And let's define new category, actually category, and category type selected category, and the node will be belongs to node, as I mentioned before, one-to-one, from the one-to-one relationship actually. Okay, so we are having a problem with the category actually, so let's check our initializer. Here we have a category row value type. Okay, we are actually passing the row value type. Let's say row value. Okay, let's pass the row value and save it as a string. So cool. The next step is to actually context insert category, not to node itself, because when we insert the category, SwiftData handles it automatically for us, because they have the relationship. For it will try to insert both items. And try context.save and show alert. It was successfully saved. If there is an error, if we catch any error, basically we will say show alert error. In this moment, if you want, what you can do is, as an extra implementation, message string, and you can pass the message not from the handlation, obviously, sorry, for the show alert. If you want, you can accept message as a string. Okay, and then what we can do is we can define this error string, and then we can check the string, and we can pass the localized description actually from the error. But I just wanted to implement it simply for now, but just wanted to give you an side information for this. Okay, so our saving method is ready, and we need to trigger it from the onSave. So we will say onSave. Let's build and run the project to see if it is okay. So add item, the model has been shown. It's a personal task. We are going to say wash the dishes for Valentine's Day. Okay, and save, and it is saved. The operation is completed. Okay, and obviously done, marking is as a done. It's not implemented yet, and next step is to implement it, the remaining functionality. Okay, as a remaining functionality, let's continue with toggling the actually the task done. We are going to add one more function here, private func handle on done, and we are going to accept the node as a parameter here. Okay, so as we know, we need to actually accept the parameter node, so that we will change the state of the done of the node specific node. So node is done toggle, so it will be, if it's false, it's going to be true. If it's true, it's going to be false. And do again, we are going to try save actually context.save, and if it is successful, we will be able to see actually the change immediately. And if it is, there is an error, show error. And let's build and run the project one more time to see actually if onDone is working, but we didn't trigger it from here, so it won't work. So if it is done, it's done, but we cannot see it because we haven't implemented the done section. So done view is not completed. Okay, so here it's let's continue with the implementing done actually. We are going to have again for each. Okay, and we are going to iterate the done nodes with an ID unique identifier that we defined previously, and also we are going to use the list item view here we are going to use the node name for our closure variable. Let's use the auto completion node content. Okay, and the subtitle will be node formatted date, node category will be, just a minute, let me see, category row value type. We're gonna have it like this, node dot category node is done, is edit mode will be passed from here, is selected again, is going to be binding like we implemented here actually. So let's copy and paste it from here, and on delete we are going to say handle deletion. We'll pass the node parameter on done, handle on done, and we'll pass the parameter one more time. Okay, I hope this makes sense for you, because I didn't want to repeat myself. I quickly implemented this. These are the completed tasks. Let's make one of them non-completed. So the toggling between done or undone is working just fine. Okay, so what we have, we are going to handle bulk deletion, which is going to be under the edit mode. When you select more than one item, you will be able to delete them actually. But for this, basically I want to have the the disclaimer button or text button at the end of the screen. Okay, so let's implement this functionality as well. If it is edit mode, we are going to have a hate stack. Okay, so we're going to have a button role disruptive delete selected nodes. This is not implemented here basically, so we are going to implement it. Obviously in the previous pages it is implemented, but here it's not implemented specifically. So let's implement private func delete selected nodes. We are going to actually iterate, actually not iteration, yeah, we're gonna iterate, yes, we're gonna iterate the selected nodes one by one and remove them. Okay, so for node in selected nodes, okay, context dot delete node, so they will be deleted one by one at a time. Selected nodes remove all after successful deletion, context save, and if it is deleted we can show alert success. And actually I will move this to here, so after it succeeded actually we can remove the selected nodes, and delete selected nodes will be triggered by this button under the edit mode. Let me emphasize that too. Okay, so it's going to be disabled actually. This button is going to be disabled, but let's define a label for this button. Label and text delete selected nodes. It's going to be delete selected nodes and show the count to see how many nodes we have selected to be deleted. At this point, I will also implement the mark as selected for the non-selected mark as done for the non-completed, for the incompleted tasks. But let's build and run right now to see what we have achieved. And also, as I said, this will be disabled. Actually, let's disabled if the selected nodes is empty. Okay, if they are empty, we don't want the user to hit this button. So let's have a couple of tasks in an incompleted part, and we select them. We can delete selected. Let's try with one, and yeah, it is deleted, and we can remove the, we can actually toggle the edit mode. Let's implement one more button here. It's going to be role. We will not give a role actually. Okay, but what this will be added actually with a condition. If the selected nodes, okay, not count actually, first where, I will explain in a minute, is done false, and if this condition actually that we are looking for, if the specific condition that we are looking for is not nil, we are going to have a button. We're going to add a button, and we are going to call mark them as completed, and also let's add a text here and implement the mark done selected ones. It's going to be bulk implementation actually, again like a delete selected nodes. So we are going to iterate through and then mark them as done. Okay, let's call this function as well, mark. Okay, so let's build and run this project to see the difference. These are actually included in the previous episode, so that's why I'm passing them quickly. Let's have multiple parameters in completed tasks, and when we select them, you see we can either delete them or we can mark them as done. And when, so this is a bulk, task marking as done, like in Gmail, mark as read for your emails. So I thought this functionality will be good for the user experience. Okay, so what is left for us to implement? So I think we are almost done. Let's see if there is a missing functionality. Run the application one more time. We can swipe, delete. Yes, we can swipe and delete. Let's try if it's working. Yes, it is working. We can unmark it as a incompleted task. We can, under the edit mode, we can select it, mark it as done, or delete it. We can mark it as done. Just remove the delete mode. Sorry, edit mode, not delete actually. Revert it back. Select it as a incomplete, select it as a complete, and adding an item, verb related, create new YouTube video, and save it. Automatically it's saved to incompleted section. I can mark it, I can delete this one. So yeah, I think the functionality is there, it's completed. And thanks for watching. Next episode we will be covering versioning in SwiftData, and this episode actually the next episode will be the last episode, and the one episode that we have seen today is the episode that I wanted to actually include in between last and the previous episodes, because I just wanted to make this list item view as a reusable, and the functionality wise it is same, actually nothing changed, but now we can use this list item view as a cell for the list in any list. If you want to use it in another parent view, we are able to use it. So thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe, and please also check the Medium article about the present keys. And without actually, let me show you actually my Medium page one more time. Medium, Serhan Khan. I'm mentioning about preference key, so please do read, because it's a very useful article to understand the preference keys, like the navigation title that we added here. Okay, and as I said, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe, and I'm looking forward to take next video. And if you have any comments, I'm open to discussion. After the SwiftData series, I will be really considering your comments to see what kind of topic you would like to have it on the YouTube channel as a next. Bye.